Hey, welcome to the Relentless Positivity Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Martin. My guest today, she's a TV health reporter, she's a radio host, she's a podcaster, fitness instructor, bodybuilding competitor, and she's on a mission to empower you to live a healthier life. Robin, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Joe. And I know you have a similar mission to help people live a better life. So we're in alignment with one another.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm excited to have you on. It's always good to get a fresh viewpoint on how people like to approach health and wellness and all that good stuff. So, how did you first get involved in fitness?
Well, I was active my entire life. I played sports as a kid. And then I guess around 19 years old, which was a long time ago, I decided to get into teaching workout classes. And back then, we made our own tapes. So let me just say that's just giving you an idea of how old I am. We made our own workout music tapes. And, that was the Jane Fonda days when we all wore the leg warmers and the whole bit. So I started teaching workout classes back then. And then I got more and more into it and started to realize, how important this was to our lifestyle. Then I started working as a TV health reporter. And I actually created my job at the station. That's a long story, but I told them they needed a health reporter and I knew just the girl for it. So I started with that and really, interviewing people about health and fitness and really trying to get the word out. And as I've grown older, I realize it's more important than ever. When you're young and the years are ahead of you, you think you're invincible. And as time goes by, you realize you're really not.
Oh man, every day I wake up, I'm like, hey, not invincible anymore. Got a few more aches and
Right,
pains.
that's right. But it's a
That's all
good day
right.
because you
I'm
woke
waiting for
up.
those leg warmers to come back any day now. They got to come back, right? Everything comes back around eventually. So,
Oh,
uh, so after all, I mean, you've been in the game for a long time. Some people they get kind of burnt out. How are you still just as passionate about the fitness and health that you were when you first started?
but as I said, I realize as I've gotten older that it's more important. But I always say to this to people, I have never finished a workout and said, "Oh, I wish I didn't do that."
Yep.
I'm always happier, and it always feels good. And it's not just, and I'm learning more. When I was younger, it was about I want to look thin, I want to be in shape, I want to look good, so forth. Now of course we all want to do that, but now
Sure.
I realize this is about function. This is about strength. This is about living your life to the max and also your mental health. It never really occurred to me how important fitness was to our mental health until I really got a better perspective on it as time went by. And it's very, very important. In fact, they say it's, people who suffer from depression and who start working out, it really helps their symptoms.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm a similar. When I was younger, I had all these goals about, picking up heavy things and all these different aesthetic goals. But now, I just want to I want to be that 80-year-old man that can run circles around the younger whippersnappers out there, right? And be able to get up and still have, function and live and years in my life, not just, you know, you know, clocking age and just trying to get older, but just more vibrant as you get older. That's the people that impress me. They get in their 70s and 80s and they're still out there and they're exercising, still strong and vibrant. That's the goal for me now.
It's something to strive for. And I see women who are some of them are bodybuilding in their 70s or even close to their 80s, and it amazes me. And again, we should all want to strive for that. But in our society, it seems like that's swimming upstream, doesn't it? It seems like we are the anomaly, and everyone else is the norm, and it should be the other way around. And it's unfortunate that the way that we live, it's sort of fast paced on computers, on our cell phones, go to work, drive your kids somewhere or whatever it is you need to do, take care of your house. We always have these obligations and it sort of gets in the way of people thinking about themselves and taking care of themselves. And it slowly happens over time. And then once people get kind of too far gone, they just sort of give up. And that to me is one of the saddest things.
Oh, you nailed it. They call it the weight creep where, you gain 1 pound here, 2 pounds there. It doesn't seem like it. And then you just wake up one day like, oh my gosh, I've gained 30 pounds. I don't feel good. I don't move like I used to. I mean, what's the use? I'm so far gone that I can't even get started. So I think I see that a lot in what I do. I'm sure you do as well, that people that have they think they've let themselves go. It's too late. But hey, if you woke up today, you got breath in your lungs, your heart's beating, never too late. You can make a
It is
difference.
never too late. And
Never too late.
somebody said to me, well, it's going to take me 3 years or whatever, 2 years to reach my goal. And I'm like, well, those 2 or 3 years are going to go by anyway. And
Yeah.
you will not have reached your goal if you don't start today. So if you look at it in those terms, and you just, I mean, I almost feel bad for people. I want to shout it from the rooftops, like, get your body moving, work out. Look, I know it's not easy for a lot of people, especially if they put on some weight, especially if, it's difficult for them to move. But one step at a time, one little simple change can start that fire and get you motivated to make changes in your life. And if you love your family, people are like, I don't have time, I have kids, I got to drive them to this and that. I know, I get it. I have kids, they're grown now, but I did that. But you know what? If you love them, you want to show up for them. So you need to make that time for yourself. You need to carve it out because, we make time to go get our nails done. We make time to go watch a TV show. We make time for things that mean something to us. So why shouldn't our health mean the most to us? Because everything else falls in line after that.
Oh, you nailed it. So I just ask my clients to say, hey, instead of saying I don't have time right now, try saying this is not a priority right now. So if you say, and it's right, if it's not, that's okay. If your health is not a priority right now, that's okay. That's on you. But if it is, then you're going to find the time. If you, like you said, you'll find time for all the other things in your life if you make them a priority. So uh, we have time. If you're looking for it, you'll find it. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't. It could be 5 minutes. I mean, I'm sure that's how you coach your folks as well. That hey, 5 is much better than 0 minutes, right? So you can do a little bit of something.
I'm
So
still teaching workout classes all these years. Maybe not as hard impact as I did when I was like in my 20s, but I'm still doing it, mostly weight training. And what I say to everyone in classes is if it were easy, everyone would be in shape. I mean, it does require some effort,
for sure,
but anything in life that's worth anything requires some effort. That's just the way it goes. It's kind of too bad, right?
yeah,
If you want to, have a home or have a job or have, a family, all of those things take effort. Every single one of those things. If you want to achieve it something, why do people act like, it shouldn't take an effort to be in shape, but it should be somewhat enjoyable.
yeah,
My husband is met in a gym, and he always says, try to find something at least that you can do. It doesn't have to be, maybe it's not your most favorite thing in the world, but at least that you can manage and handle and get started with that. Whether it's walking, whether it's doing something with a friend, playing pickleball, whatever it is, but try to incorporate it into your life because then it's not so much a burden. It shouldn't be a burden. It should be a joyous thing where you're feeling good about doing something for yourself.
that's right. Exercise is a reward. It's not a punishment, right? It's a
That's
reward.
exactly,
And the best
exactly.
workout in the world is the one that you will actually do. So that find
That is
something you enjoy.
so,
You nailed it right there. So it's whatever you'll
so
do,
true.
that's the best one. So
And I find
everyone,
people when they do things with other people, that makes it easier too,
oh, for
because you got
sure.
to show up. You say, I'm going to meet you at the gym or playing a sport, whatever it is, try to schedule it. And then you kind of can't get out of it, especially if somebody else is relying on you. So that's a trick I've used throughout my life.
That's a key one right there. If you guys are taking notes, that's a crucial one right there. That will get you much more successful. A lot of people let themselves down, but they won't let down other people. Um, so
That's
I
exactly
know
right.
people look at you and they think probably it's been easy for you all these years that you're just naturally wanting to get out there and work out and all those things. But what are some challenges you faced over the year with staying in the health and wellness game?
Well, the same thing with time. I mean, when I was now I'm a radio host. Unfortunately my TV station closed about 10 years ago, which was sort of traumatic after being there for 30 years. But when during that time, and I had young kids trying to shuffle and do all of that, it wasn't easy. So I definitely and I trained for a bodybuilding fitness competition in the middle of all of that. But again, making that time and making it a priority that wasn't easy, and some things had to give and that was a hard time of my life. But in the long run, it worked out. And I also, as I said, I scheduled it. So I taught workout classes. I played in a tennis league. I made myself show up, and I made it a priority to me. But over the years, physically, my knees have really, you know, they're not as good as they used to be. Let's put it that way. I don't like to use the word bad, but they're not as good as they used to be. And that's been challenging for me. And I've seen doctors about it, and orthopedic surgeons have said you're probably going to need surgery. And I'm trying not to get that. If I can possibly, who wants to get surgery? But it is a challenge. So what I've been trying to do is focus a lot more on flexibility, my balance. It's kind of something that people don't focus on as much. A lot of people focus on their cardio. That seems to be first, but there's really three pillars: cardio, strength, and or flexibility and balance. I would consider all one. And I really was more about the cardio and strength growing up. And now I realize, I probably should have stretched a little longer instead of like 5 minutes after my, hour long hard workout. So that is part of it. That's just been a challenge for me. So I've had to adapt. I don't do the hardest workouts anymore. I don't, I used to be in the gym a long time, maybe when I was training for things, maybe almost 2 hours, which is probably overtraining. And all those years of that running and all of that, I'm paying the price in some ways now. I wouldn't change it probably, maybe it changed a little, but I'm glad that I did the fitness and the workout. But now I'm looking at, trying to just really take care of my body a little bit more and overcome those challenges because sometimes I wake up in the morning and I can be very stiff in my knees and I don't like it. That makes you feel kind of old. But I'm working through it and I'm doing what I need to do to try to heal myself. And I think we have tremendous power in our own bodies to heal ourselves if we really, really find the right way to do it.
Oh, that's a great point. I'm kind of living that right now. My mobility used to be I didn't really have to work on it, and I would be fine.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of getting my late 40s. Things are changing, right? So I need to
Yeah,
really
yeah,
focus on
try to
that.
get into your early 60s. That's where I am right now.
Yeah, so it
But
starts changing for sure.
yeah, I know it really does change. And I really wish somebody had told me when I was younger to spend more time doing yoga or stretching or take more time on your flexibility. I thought that was, I wouldn't say a waste of time, but if I had to choose between running or stretching or lifting in the gym or stretching, stretching would always be that.
Yep.
So I wish somebody had told me that how important that was when I was younger.
Yeah. I'm the same with the three pillars. It's way weighted to the other side. My one pillar of flexibility and mobility, it's unused. And I'm getting there though. It's baby steps,
Yeah,
like anything
it
else.
really
Baby
is.
steps.
First step is being aware of it. Like first step is admitting you have a problem.
Yep. That's it.
Go from there.
So I know you like to keep up with a lot of the trends and health and wellness. Are they that you're kind of tracking right now that you're really excited about?
Well, I love the fact that people are relating physical and mental health. I think for years those two things have been seen separated, and I'm so glad to see that because mental health is our health, physical health is our health. We're all one person, and for years it's sort of been separated. And I also had a different view of mental health because I used to think when I was younger, oh come on, you're just down, just get over it. Oh, great advice.
Yeah, yeah,
People would do that. Some telling somebody's overweight. Oh, just change your eating habits. Great advice. Like how? What do I do?
yeah.
So I'm so glad that there's that connection. I'm really glad. Don't love to see fad, tricky diets. And in fact, I even hate the word diet because diet implies that it's a start and a finish. And just that word diet and the first part of that word is die.
Yeah,
Nobody wants that. So it's just I like people to think about it as this is a lifestyle, but you don't have to change it all at once. It's important to just take baby steps and not always take away. Like one thing that I've learned from people that I have interviewed, pick one thing that you can do. Start drinking water in the morning, something simple so you can get, reach an accomplishment and, or add more fruits and vegetables. 90% of adults in the U.S. do not have enough fruits and vegetables in their day. That's shocking to me. And maybe you start adding, a little bit more in your breakfast or try to sneak it into a smoothie. Throw some kale in there. You won't taste it, I promise. But try to like add instead of taking away. Because when people think of changing their lifestyle, they think of giving something up. So think of adding. That's a good way to do it. But the
that is
thing, I'll
great.
tell you one thing that does concern me, the thing that I'm a little worried about are the GLP-1s. I'm really concerned about the semi-glutides, and we all know the brand names of them. I'm not going to get into that, but I did an interview with a nutritionist and with a doctor who recommend those to their extremely obese patients. This type of medication has been around for a long time for diabetics. Now it's being used for weight loss. And if somebody's obese, there are a lot of health issues that come with that. So when I first heard about an injection to lose weight, I thought, ugh, but I've sort of changed my opinion. If you're obese, if you're really overweight, it might be a good short-term solution to get you started. But you also need to couple that with a good, with good eating habits and with physical fitness. But for someone who wants to lose 15 or 20 pounds for a wedding, I don't think it's a good idea. And I think long term down the road, we're going to find out that it's not a good idea. And when people go off that medication, they gain weight and they're so upset about it. And I just find that You see it on, you can get it online now. There's money to be made in this. And that's the problem. When there's money to be made, Joe, things always get abused. And that's
Yeah,
what we're going to see. And it's, I don't think it's going to have a good outcome for people in the long term. If that's all you're doing it for is for that little bit of weight loss. I mean, there's other ways to get there.
for sure. And I think we're seeing kind of some of that with a lot of the side effects coming out, and a lot of people having bad experiences like that. Definitely something to talk to your doctor. Don't get that off the shelf somewhere, off some shady internet site. Make sure you're working with your doctor on that one. Don't do this one on your own.
Absolutely. And you notice
I'm with
anytime they talk about a weight loss product, it's always says with a healthy diet and exercise. Well, I'm
yeah,
like, well, if the people did the healthy diet and exercise, like, they wouldn't need the product. Start with that and see, if you need the product. But anyway, I
that's it.
digress.
Yeah. So you, what is kind of a mantra or a message that you live by with your health and fitness? What is something you live by? You've been doing this a long time. I'm sure you gained some knowledge along the way.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things I always say to my workout class is you get what you give. So anything in life, if it's worth it, it takes effort. And I think we need to realize that and make the time for it. I mean, that's always been my thing. Make the time for it because you are worth it. And don't listen or, be distracted by everything else going on around you. You have to think about what's best for you and what's best for your family. And you want to show up. You want to show up for your family the best way possible. So probably I would say you get what you give is my best piece of advice to people. You are going to get out of this what you put into it, and you will get a lot out of it if you just start to make the effort.
Oh, that's it. That's someone that's been doing this a long time. This isn't someone just got in the game right now. She's been made a lifestyle of this. That's what she preaches. A lifestyle. This isn't something you're doing today or even next month. This is a life. It's for life. And we talked about it earlier. This isn't something you're doing to yourself because you're overweight or anything. This is a reward. This is you can live your best life. She's mentioned it several times that you can show up for yourself and those that you love more, better, and more often. So that's what you get from exercise and
Right.
living
I
a
heard you
healthy life.
mention in one of I love your podcast, by the way, and I heard you mention know your why, which is everyone says that, know your why, but it really is true. You should know if you want to lose, say your goal is to drop some weight. Okay, that's a great goal. Why?
Yeah.
What will that mean to you? Will that mean you get off medication? Will you feel better in your clothes and be more confident? Will you have more energy? What's your end goal for losing weight? And keep that in your mind. Like you said, with your client, just think about that. And the day that you're tired, that you don't feel like it, you really don't want to do it, just push yourself a little more. What I always tell my people in my workout classes, you got here, you made the effort. The hardest part of this whole thing was putting your sneakers on and
Yep.
getting into this class. I'll do the rest. Just follow me.
Yeah.
And
I,
that's to me the hardest part. Get your sneakers on. Get started.
that's it. I tell them you just get there and then the magic will happen. Right. The
Exactly.
magic
That's
will
the
happen.
same, basically the same idea.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
I'm really,
So I know
really
people are
trying to
living
get
right
people
now.
to.
How can people keep up with all the cool things? You got a lot of things going on. How can people keep up with what all you have going on?
Like you, I sort of do this for fun. It's not really an income producer for me. It's because I really love it. I'm
Hmm.
really trying to get the message out, try to help people to change their lives, and just my goal is my theme is empowering you to live a healthier life, and it's just been my mantra, my life's mission. So I have a YouTube channel where I have videos of people that I've interviewed. Many of them are experts. Some of them are just everyday people who've overcome. I call it triumph over challenge. People who have just really, or sometimes tragedy, overcome and are thriving and are teaching other people how to do it. I also have, obviously I am on Facebook and Instagram, and I even do some TikTok, but I do these short segments called Health Update, which I invented when I was in my early 20s. I did them on TV, and now I do them online. They're about a minute tip, one little short tip. They're called Health Update, and they are on all of my social media, on my YouTube channel, and that's Living Well with Robin Stoloff. That's Poloff, Living Well with Robin Stoloff. And I hope people will follow me. I put a lot of time and effort into it, and I do it out of the kindness of my heart for people to just make changes and feel better in their lives.
That's awesome. You're an inspiration. Yeah, like I said,
Well,
you're not just something that you just did on a whim. You've been doing this a long time. You stuck with it, and now you're helping other people do the same. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And you're doing the same thing yourself. So kudos to you. You know, the
Absolutely.
positivity that's, we could use more of that in this world.
Yeah, that's it. So if you're listening right now, please share this episode with somebody. They need some Robin in their life. I know they need some Robin in their life, right? They want to be living well, and she can help you do that with her YouTubes and even on TikTok. I'm proud of you for being on TikTok. That's great right there. Yeah, so that's cool. So if you're listening right now, please share this episode, all the cool things that Robin has going on, help people live their best lives out there. And you could help them change their life. Maybe they needed to hear something that she said. Just maybe you just need to add something to your life right now. It's not all about taking away. That's a great tip. If you weren't taking notes on that one, that's a great tip right there. Follow her on there. Follow us next week on the next episode of the Relentless Positivity Podcast. We will see you then. Wow, what a great episode. You just share that with somebody. I'm going to share with you some awesome sponsors. McWilliams Marketing. They can help your business grow. Regardless of the size of the project, you're going to get a solution that is specifically created for you and your business. No cookie cutter, one size fits approach here. So Amy and her band of fearless marketers can help you with all that stuff that you think you can do, but you're not really that good at it. You don't have time for it. They can do that. They're the experts. It's what they do. Web design, online conversion optimization, SEO, graphic design, marketing, page management, all that stuff. Go let them do that. Don't handle that yourself. Go check them out at mcwilliamsmarketing.com. See what all they can do. They're amazing people. Teak Patnick with Patnick Realty. He really does it all in the real estate world. General real estate sales, acquisitions, property management, investments, all that good stuff. You're not just a transaction with Teak. He really wants to build a relationship for life with you. He has built his whole business on prayer, hard work ethic, honesty, and results. You can trust Patnick Realty with all your real estate needs. Hey, I trust my brother from another mother, Teak, and you should too. Give him a call, 256-694-0117, or email him at teak@patnickco.com. Hey, these are awesome businesses. Go support them. They're out supporting positivity, and they will do you right. Have an awesome day.